This right here is my heavily upgraded Power Mac G3 Blue and White. It is one of my favorite Macs that I've honestly ever owned or seen. Just love the design, and what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be upgrading the processor that's inside right now, or at least I'll be overclocking the processor. Right now it's running at 400 megahertz and it has a lot of upgrade cards inside, so I thought it'd just be fun to take a look and see what we can do today. So this is the inside of the machine. Right now I have, I believe, a DVD-ROM on top. I have the zip drive right there. It has the front bezel and everything. Inside I found an original modem. Unfortunately, the last owner removed the metal from it. It is upgraded to 1 gigabyte of RAM. There is the processor. I believe this is a 9200, ATI 9200 with 128 megabytes of RAM. If we look inside here, I also, right here, have a SATA card that I found locally for about $20 and flashed myself for Mac compatibility. And right here, this is a Sound Blaster card that I had bought from somebody who had it in a G3, said it was working. I don't know. I've been trying to get it working. I can't seem to find the right drivers to make it function. The computer just never seems to recognize it. If anybody can tell me what they think I should do, please leave a comment below. And underneath are just two SATA drives, one with OS 9 and one with OS 10.4. There we go. So 10.9, I think it's 0.9 on this one, and on this one is 10.4. So everything is upgraded all the way. What I thought we'd do is just benchmark the CPU as it stands. It's 400 megahertz, and I believe we can get it to 450 pretty easily. And I'll be following a guide from the House of Moth. If you haven't seen his stuff, I mean, he has a web page. He's part of MacYak. Man does a lot of great work. So I'll be taking a look at his guide and seeing if we can change this. This is the jumper block that should tell the CPU how fast to go. So let's do a benchmark on this machine and then see if we can get it figured out. Here we are at the desktop for the G3. I am recording off of my 2010 iMac, so if you go to About This Mac, you'll see that is the 400 megahertz G3 processor, with I believe a maxed out 1 gigabyte of RAM. Just to show you, it's the same machine. Here is the Radeon 9200 with 128 megs of VRAM. If we look through the PC cards, so there's my flash SATA card. There's the graphics card. I have a USB 2.0 card right there. And unfortunately, this is the card that's not recognized, the Sound Blaster card. There are my two drives on the side. So the HD, so the regular one for my OS 10 install, and my Mac OS 9 Lives install as well. So if we go here, click on Finder, under Applications, there we go. So we have Geekbench. So what I thought we'd do, we'll run a Geekbench test on this machine and see what results we get. So let's take a look here. And the test is done. So what we have here is a Geekbench score of 211. So let's see if we could save this score here. This is pre-upgrade, or overclocking, I should say. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to open up the machine and we're going to take a look inside and see what we can do to overclock this bad boy. So I've opened up the Mac. As you can see right here, it is off. You don't want to be doing this with it on. And I've gone to the House of Moth, to his website right here, where he gives a very good explanation on how to do this. Essentially, you remove the sticker, the jumper, little block has this like little bump here, a little notch that tells you where you should be putting it back, and you'll just be resetting the pins or the jumpers inside, as you can see. So we're essentially just going to be moving them around, trying to get it in the right position. So he used a 350 megahertz model. I think he bumped his up about 50. I'm starting off at the 400, and I should be going to 450 just to keep it stable because I don't need a huge overclock. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be removing this. I'm going to be voiding my warranty. Not sure if Apple will let me bring this back or not. And I'm going to take off the jumper block and we'll take a look inside. Now, I would have loved to have showed you the entire process, but it was a really big pain in the butt. I took out a needle and was able to pop out pieces inside, so I readjusted the block. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of thermal paste on the CPU. Just like my last video, I'm not going to be showing anybody because, again, I don't want to start a war about the thermal paste. Will it do much? It's only a G3 processor. I don't think it will really need it, but why not? And then we're going to see if this one boots up. So we just had a bit of a scare there. I wasn't getting anything through the Mac. My video capture was staying blank after a gray screen, so I connected up another monitor to the DVI port. Not sure why that happened, but if we check here in the About This Mac, you see our processor is now at 450 megahertz, where it was at 400. So let's see if we can stress this a bit. We'll try using our Geekbench, and we'll see just if it was actually worth doing this, if it made a big difference, or if it was just something really fun to do if you have a G3. So I'm going to click Run Benchmarks, and let's see what we get. And there we are. So our score is 235, and if we compare the pre-overclock, so not a massive difference, 211. I mean, if we go through the different settings here, so 303, 270, 261, 232, minor difference. I'm sure I could have bumped this a whole 100 megahertz, but honestly, I didn't want to take it too far on this Mac. But I think a lot of it is coming down to here, so the memory performance and the bandwidth performance. But there you go. I mean, this is just a very simple and essentially completely free way just to get a little more pep out of your G3 blue and whites, and I'm happy with this. So I'd like to thank the House of Moth, or Jay, for his instructions. They were amazing, and I appreciate him putting it up there. I'm going to try to leave a link in the description below for his channel and his webpage if you want to check out all the amazing things he does. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.